season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. We've already played Game 1 of the 1976 World Series. We started our replay in the Championship Series. The Yankees and the Reds advanced like they did originally in 76. And in Game 1, the Yankees jumped up with a huge 4-run fourth, but the Reds came back with a 2-out rally in the 6th inning and knocked in 7. That's right, 7 runs to win this one 7-4 and took Game 1. And now we're getting ready to go into Game number 2. Originally in 1976, Game 2 was won by the Cincinnati Reds. Originally, the Reds got 3 runs in the bottom of the second, taking a quick, demanding 3-0 lead. But the Bronx Bombers came back with a run in the 4th and then tied it up in the 7th when they scored 2 runs, making it 3 runs apiece. It remained that score into the 9th inning, and it looked like there were going to be extra innings after the Bronx Bombers did not get any runs, and the Big Red Machine with 2 outs wasn't looking very good. Ken Griffey hit a ground ball to short, but an error by Stanley, a throwing error, allowed Griffey not only to get on base, but to take second base. And so with 2 outs, Griffey on second, Tony Perez stepped up and hit a single to score the winning run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, giving the Cincinnati Reds a 2-0 lead in the World Series. So what's going to happen in our replay? Will the Reds again win Game 2, or will the Bronx Bombers take one on the road? Let's go ahead, let's jump into the action. But first, let's check out the starting lineups from Game 2 of the World Series. The New York Yankees are going to have the same lineup they had in Game 1. Rivers, the center fielder, is going to lead off. White, the left fielder, is going to be batting second. Thurman Munson, the catcher, is going to be batting third. In the cleanup spot is going to be the DH, Lou Piniella. Chambliss, the first baseman, is going to be batting fifth. Nettles is going to be batting sixth, playing third base. Maddox, the right fielder, will be batting seventh. Willie Randolph, the second baseman, is going to be batting eighth. And Stanley, the shortstop, is going to be batting ninth. On the mound will be Catfish Hunter. He went 17-15 with a 3.52 ERA back in 1976. For the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds, they have a little bit of a different lineup. They are going to start off with Pete Rose, the third baseman. Then they're going to have Ken Griffey, the right fielder, batting second. Morgan, the second baseman, is going to be batting third. Foster is going to move up into the cleanup spot. He's playing left field. Tony Perez, the first baseman, is going to be batting fifth. Johnny Bench, the catcher, is batting sixth. Concepcion is going to be at short. He's batting seventh. Geronimo, the center fielder, is going to be batting eighth. And Dreisen, who will be again the DH, is going to be batting ninth. On the mound is going to be Fred Norman. He went 12-7 with a 3.10 ERA in 1976. So there's the lineups. Now let's go ahead and jump in to Game 2. But before we do, I'm going to ask you guys, hit that little thumbs up, like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys will subscribe to the channel. Love to be able to have you guys check out all the new content that we put out as it comes out. And lastly, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or snide remarks in the comment section down below. So with that being said, now let's jump into Game 2 of the 1976 World Series. It will be at Cincinnati, and we again will be managing the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds. In 1976, it is a Sunday night. It is a night game, and we are in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium. Norman is going to be on the mound. Rivers is up to bat first. Here's the first pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball back to Norman. He has to make a play. He does, as he is able to get that one, and that's going to be 1 down. Here is White. White now is going to strike out. So that's going to be 2 down, and now Munson is up. Munson's going to hit a fly ball opposite field to Griffey, who doesn't have to move at all. And that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning as we now go into the bottom of the first. Pete Rose is up. He hit 323. Catfish Hunter on the mound, and it's going to be a strikeout against the switch-hitting Pete Rose. Here's Griffey, the right fielder. He's going to hit a ground ball to Willie Randolph. That's going to be 2 down. And now Morgan, the future Hall of Famer, is up. He hit 320. He's going to draw a walk. So he's going to be on base. We're going to try to see if we can get a good lead. We cannot. So Morgan's going to remain at first, and now George Foster's up. George Foster's going to hit opposite field to Gamble in right field, and that's going to be the 3rd out. And now we go into the top of the second. Here is Nettles. Nettles is going to draw a walk, so that's going to be a quick runner on base, and now Chambliss is up. The first baseman hit 293. He's going to draw a walk.
Bruh.
So Norman with 2 quick walks to start off the second inning, not looking good. Oscar Gamble fouls off a bunt, so he is going to be having a pitch count of 1-2. What are they going to do? They're going to let him swing away, and he's going to be struck out. So strike out for out number 1, and now Lou Piniella, the DH, is up. He is going to be struck out. So Norman with back-to-back strikeouts, trying to get out of this one after 2 quick walks, and he's going to get Randolph to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose. So able to get out of that one with 3 quick outs after 2 strikeouts after runners are on first and second. We escape and we go into the bottom of the second. Here's Tony Perez. Perez is going to hit a line ball right at Stanley. That's going to be 1 down. And now here's Johnny Bench. Bench is going to hit a ground ball back to Catfish Hunter. Hunter makes a play, so that's going to be 2 down. And now Concepcion's up, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Stanley. Easy routine ground out. So that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. So both teams struggling getting any hits. And now we go into the top of the third with Norman. Norman going against Stanley. Stanley's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose. Pete Rose makes an easy play. Throws it over to first, 1 down. And now here's Rivers. Rivers is going to be struck out. The 4th strikeout so far for Norman. And now here's White and another strikeout. Holy cow, Norman is in fuego when it comes to his heat today.
He's on fire!
As we go into the bottom of the third, as we got Geronimo, the center fielder, he's going to be up. He's going to draw a walk. So we get our first runner on. Dryson is up. He is not a very good punter, so we're not even going to think about that. His rating is D, so we're going to let him just swing away. He needs a 1 for a double. The rest is a single. He gets a 15, so that's going to put runners on the corner, and now the top of the order is up with no outs. Pete Rose, who struck out early in the first inning, has a chance to not going to run. He's going to draw a walk, so bases are loaded for us. Kim, the big red machine, knock in some runs. Here's Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey's going to hit a ground ball to Randolph at second. It will be a run that's going to score, as it was a towering ground ball. Randolph able to get the out at first, but not able to stop the run from scoring. So we do get a quick run. Dryson advances to third. Pete Rose now is on second. And now Morgan's up, who drew a walk earlier. He's going to be struck out. So another strikeout for Catfish Hunter, but the inning's not over. We got George Foster coming up. They're going to intentionally walk him, bringing up Tony Perez, who hit 260 with 19 home runs. And it's going to be a passed ball. So they give us a run as Catfish Hunter throws one that Munson's not able to handle. So we again put runners on second and third. We get another run. They're going to still pitch to Tony Perez. He hits a ground ball to Stanley to end the inning, but we do get 2 runs in that inning. But after the end of 3, the New York Yankees have 0 runs, 0 hits, have not committed an error. The Reds have 2 runs on only 1 hit and also have not committed an error. Top of the 4th, here we are. Thurman Munson's going to lead it off for the Bronx Bombers. He had 302 with 17 home runs. He needs a 1-8 for a single. It's going to be a 16. So Morgan's able to pull that one in. That's going to be 1 down. Here is Nettles. He walked earlier in the second. He's going to walk again. So he's on base, and now it's going to be
Just a bit outside.
wild pitch by Norman. So Nettles able to take second. Chambliss is up with a runner in scoring position. He's a 1-14. He hits a long fly ball. 1-14 for a home run. The rest is a double. And this one, it's going to be no doubt about it, as this one goes into right center field for a 2-run home run that ties it up.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Chambliss rips that one. And now the game is tied, and Oscar Gamble is up. With 1 down, he's going to rip a single opposite field. That's going to put him on base, and now Piniella's up. Lou Piniella's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion. He's going to flip it over to Morgan. They're going to try to turn the double play, but they cannot, as Piniella beats the throw. And so that will be a fielder's choice. 2 down, and now Willie Randolph's up with Piniella on first. He's going to hit a fly ball to Geronimo in center field. That's going to be the 3rd out, but the Yankees come back and tie it, knotting it up off of a Chambliss home run as we now go into the bottom of the 4th. Here is Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench is going to hit a ground ball to Stanley. A great play by Stanley, who has to make a play. He will. So that's going to be an out. And now Concepcion is up. Concepcion is going to pop this one up. Stanley able to move a little bit and easily pulls that one. And that's going to be 2 down. And now Geronimo's up. He's going to hit a single up the middle. A ground ball that gets through both Stanley and Randolph. And he's on first base. We're going to try to see if we can steal. He has a 1-13, a 65% chance. He gets a lead.
Save!
He is able to get a good jump and is able to get second base on the steal, putting him in scoring position. Now Dryson is up, who singled in the third. He needs a 1 for a double. The rest is a single. It goes opposite field. He sends this one to White, who has a +3 arm. Geronimo has pretty good speed. He's going to have a 1-19 chance. They are going to throw it home. We are going to send Dryson to second base. There's no cutoff, and it's a 1-16, and it's going to be an error. Nice. Roy White throws the ball away. So Dryson, who was going to second on the throw, is able to take third. He is now on third base with Pete Rose up. The run scores safely, and we regain the lead 3-2. Pete Rose is going to draw his second walk, so he's on second. And now Ken Griffey's up. He's 0 for 2. He did have an RBI with the bases loaded earlier. He's going to rip a single as he pulls this one to right field. Pete Rose is going to take third. Gamble's not going to try to stop him. So Pete Rose on the corners. We had another run. And now the score is 4-2. And now Morgan's up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. He hits a fly ball to Rivers, who has some decent range. He is not able to get there. So that is going to score another run. As now Griffey goes to third. Remaining runners on the corner. And so, again, the Reds with a 2-out rally like they did in the first, knock in 3 runs in this inning to regain the lead. And the inning's not over as George Foster's up, but he's going to be struck out. But we do knock in 3 runs and take a 5-2 lead as we go into the top of the 5th. Norman back on the mound. Stanley's up. He hits a fly ball to Geronimo. That's going to be an out, 1 down, and now Rivers is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field. Griffey is able to easily pull that one. Has to take a few steps back, but that's going to be 2 down, and now Roy White is up. He's going to draw a walk, so he's on base with 2 down, and now Thurman Munson's up. He flew out and lined out. He's going to pop out, so he keeps on finding different ways to get out, knocking the ball into the air, and that's going to be the 3rd out. As now we go into the bottom of the 5th, Perez is going to lead us off. He's going to start off with a long shot into left center field. This one's going to bounce in the gap. It's going to hit off the wall. Rivers gets there, throws it in. Perez stand up, double to lead off the inning. And now Johnny Bench, future Hall of Famers, up on a pass ball. Munson not able to handle that one, putting Perez on third base, and the infield is in with no outs. Johnny Bench, future Hall of Famers, up. He had 16 home runs, and he hits one. This one looks like it might have a chance. He goes. It's going, and easily into the left center stands. We knock in a 2-run home run by Johnny Bench with no outs in the 5th inning to give us a 7-2 lead.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
Concepcion now up to bat. Billy Martin has seen enough. He is going to bring in Sparky Lyle. As Catfish Hunter gives up 7 runs in 4 innings. As he made it to the 5th, but is not able to get an out. So we have absolutely taken over this game. And we now, with no outs, have Lyle coming in, Concepcion up the bat. He's going to hit a fly ball to Rivers, who has to make a play. He didn't earlier in the inning. This time he does. That's going to be a fly out. So 1 down, and now Geronimo pulls the ball easily straight at Gamble. That's going to be 2 down, and now Dryson, who's 2 for 2, is going to hit a ground ball to Chambliss for the 3rd out. But at the end of 5, we lead this one 7-2. We got 2 runs in the 3rd, 3 runs in the 4th, and 2 runs in the 5th inning to take a 7-2 lead. Top of the 6th, Nettles is going to lead it off, the cleanup man, and he's going to be struck out. The 6th strikeout for Norman. Chambliss is up, who had a home run earlier. He needs a 1-14 for a home run. He is going to hit a shot in the right center. He got a 12. So his 2nd home run in this game. Chambliss with 2 shots. Luckily for us, this was a solo shot. And that is going to close the gap to 4 runs. Gamble now up. He's 1 for 2 and a strikeout. As in, that will be Norman's 7th strikeout so far this game, and Pinella's going to be up. He's going to draw a walk with 2 down, and now Willie Randolph is up. The second baseman's going to rip a single into center. Pinella not very fast, so he's easily just going to go to second, stay there. But runners are on first and second for Stanley, the number 9 hitter. He's 0 for 2, hit .238. And Billy Martin's going to let him hit, and unfortunately, he may have wanted to make a move, as that's going to be a ground out to Concepcion to end the inning, as that was a fielder's choice. And that's going to take us into the bottom of the 6th. Pete Rose is up. The leadoff man is going to lead off with a walk. So he's on first, and now Griffey's up. He had 2 ground outs. He has a single. He has 2 RBIs so far in this game. And he needs a 1-2 for a triple. The rest is a double. This one's over Rivers' head. It's going to bounce, but it's not going to have a good enough bounce, so Griffey is going to end up with a double. Pete Rose has a chance to score, a 90% chance. We're going to send him easily. They're going to try to stop Pete Rose from scoring, so we're going to send Ken Griffey, as they're not going to hit the cutoff man. No cutoff man. It's a 1-18, so it's going to be a play at the plate. You're out! And Rose is out, a 1-18 for him to be safe. It landed on 18, so then we had to do a second roll. It was a 9. So Pete Rose is thrown out by Rivers. Wow, a great throw by Rivers, a great stop by Munson. But Griffey ends up on third as they stop the run. But with 1 out, we have another chance with Joe Morgan coming up. Joe Morgan's going to hit a ground ball to third base. The infield is in. We are going to try to advance with Ken Griffey. They are not going to try to stop him. He had a 1-14 chance. They're just going to take the easy out of first. So we do get the run that we didn't get earlier. And so that's going to give us an 8-3 lead. And now George Foster is up. He's over 2 with a walk. When he was intentionally walked, he's going to ground out the short. So that's going to end the inning. As for 4 innings in a row, we have scored runs. And as we go into the 7th inning, after 6, New York Yankees have 3 runs on only 4 hits. They've committed an error. Cincinnati Reds have 8 runs on 8 hits and has not committed an error. Norman, it's close to his pitch max. He has a 95 pitch max count. He has pitched 94, and let him keep on going, as he has 7 strikeouts and only allowed 4 hits. And 2 of those hits were home runs off of Chainless. But Rivers is going to start off with a walk. So this is going to make us something where I keep an eye on. But Roy White is going to hit a pop-up to first base. That's going to be 1 down. And here's Munson, who's 0 for 3. He's going to hit a ground ball to third. Pete Rose throws it to second to Morgan. Morgan flips it over to Perez for a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. And so we get out of that one, and we're going to go into the bottom of the 7th with Tony Perez, who's 1 for 3 with a double. And he's going to hit a fly ball to Rivers in center field for the first out. And now Sparky Lau is going to be going against Johnny Bench, who had a 2-run home run his last at bat. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. That's not going to be as far, so that's going to be a routine fly out. And now Concepcion is up, and he's going to be struck out. So a strikeout by Sparky Lau to end the inning, a 1-2-3 inning. I know Norman's over his pitch count, but he's pitching a good game in my opinion. And unless he has to go against Chamberlain, who's going to be the number 2 hitter. He's going to start off going against Nettles. Nettles is up, and Nettles is going to hit a ground ball to third to Pete Rose. That's going to be 1 out. And now Chainless is up. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. He has Norman's number, but we're going to try to see if Norman, with a 5-run lead, can finally get Chainless out. Chainless up to bat. He's going to hit a ground ball to Morgan. Yahoo! So finally, a big, huge win for Norman as we finally get Chainless out. That's going to be 2 down, and now Gamble's up, and Gamble's going to hit a line ball to Morgan. That's going to be an out. And so we go into the bottom of the 8th with a 1-2-3 inning. Geronimo's going to lead us off, and he's a 1 for a double. The rest is a single. It's going to be a 17, so he's on base early. Dryson's up. He's going to draw a walk, so we have runners on first and second with no outs. Lyle, over his pitch count, the relief pitcher, he's already got 42 pitches in. He usually only can go 32. And Billy Martin again is going to leave him in. And Lyle shows why as he gets a strikeout over Pete Rose, who does not strike out very often. Now Ken Griffey's up. He's 2 for 4. And he's going to rip his 3rd hit. He gets a single. That's going to knock in a run as Geronimo scores. Dryson takes 3rd. Griffey on first base. And now Morgan is up, and finally Billy Martin brings in Grant Jackson as we got runners on the corners with only 1 out. And Morgan is up. He has 2 RBIs. He's going to ground ball to Randolph. Randolph's going to take the fielder's choice at second. Morgan is able to beat the throw, but we add another run as Foster now comes up with 29 home runs, 306 average in 1976. He is 0 for 3 today. And so can he get a hit? He will not, as he's going to hit it to Nettles, who's going to take the out at second. And that's going to end the inning as we go into the bottom of the 9th. I'm leaving Norman in, hoping to get him a complete game. He's going against Piniella, and Pinella's going to start off with a fly ball as he pulls this one to Foster. And easy out. And now Willie Randolph's up. He's going to hit a fly ball to Griffey, who has to make a play. Griffey's going to have to do something. And he does, as he makes a wonderful play, catching that one on the run, backhands that one as it almost hits the ground. So a great play by Griffey for the second out. And now with 2 outs, top of the 9th, Stanley's up. The last chance for the Bronx Bombers, and Norman with a strikeout. His 8th strikeout in this game.
My man!
As the Cincinnati Reds win this one in commanding fashion, 10-3. They get 2 runs in the 3rd inning. The Yankees tie it up in the top of the 4th. But then it was all the Big Red Machine from there as they scored 8 more runs in the next 5 innings to win this one, 10-3. Well, Game 1 and Game 2 saw the Cincinnati Reds being quite offensive as they got 7 runs in Game 1 and 10 runs in Game 2 to take both games at home and now lead the series 2-0, just like they did in 1976. The main difference in 1976 originally, the games were pretty close, back and forth. Cincinnati Reds pulled some games out. But in our replay so far, the Cincinnati Reds have had a huge offensive power and been able to get a lot of runs in this one, as the Bronx Bombers are looking forward to going back home. Game 3 at Yankee Stadium. Can the Reds go on the road and win Game 3 and 4 like they did in 1976? Or will the Yankees be able to pull something and be able to get some wins at home? Well, we're going to have to keep on watching to check it out. I hope you guys are enjoying this replay of the 1976 playoffs. Obviously, we are in the World Series. Cincinnati Reds lead this one 2-0 so far in our replay. So keep on watching. Check out our next video when we're going to be doing Game 3. So Game 2 is now in the books. Cincinnati Reds showing their offensive prowess as they had 7 runs in Game number 1 and then 10 runs in Game number 2. Obviously very different than what was going on originally in 1976, where the Reds had to fight back. So far, they've taken commanding leads and been able to hold on and win those games just like they did in 1976. The Cincinnati Reds have a 2-0 lead in the World Series, but the World Series now going to be going to New York, where the Bronx Bombers are hoping to bounce back. Will the Cincinnati Reds, like they did in 1976, sweep the Yankees? Or, in our replay, can the Yankees win some games and pull out a couple of dubs? So I hope you guys are enjoying this replay of our 1976 playoffs. Obviously, we made it all the way to the World Series. We got through 2 games so far. We're about to go into Game 3. And so keep watching. Check out what happens in Games 3, Games 4, and maybe other games as well. So until next time, this is Coach DK. Have a good one. Bye.